Ooh.
All right, good afternoon. We have a very small class today as we have the Mary Seat retreat today. So we only have 7 kids in class today. Hey, have fun, everybody watching this tonight.
Nico's here.
Nico DeVito is not on the trip.
Alex Olsen's watching this one.
Yeah, big shout out to Alex Olsen.
Actually, no.
I heard Alex Olsen's basketball team lost.
Yeah, I
Hey,
heard they're really bad.
not the negative or degrading. Only positive and encouraging.
I heard their shots
All right.
are always with the right cheek.
Hey, mixture problems. What do you think we do with mixture problems? Mix what?
Okay, problems.
Substances.
We're gonna mix things together. We're gonna mix nuts. We're gonna mix alcohol and water solution stuff. Okay? We're gonna mix money. And your job is to find out how much of each we have. All right, first problem. Hazelnuts. Do you guys know what a hazelnut is?
Yeah.
I don't. I have no clue. I just made this problem up. Hazelnuts cost $4.98 a pound. Can you all picture that?
Yeah.
Okay? And cashews cost $6.50 per pound. Cashews must be better than hazelnuts because they cost more per pound. Okay? All right, Rocco's Nut Shack. Okay, Rocco has a business called Rocco's Nut Shack. Wants a 15-pound mixture of hazelnuts and cashews. So we're gonna mix hazelnuts and we're gonna mix cashews and make this big 15-pound jar of hazelnuts and cashews. The cost of that mixture, $5.79. $10,000 question of the day. What does that cost have to be in between?
Hazelnuts and cashews.
The cost of the hazelnut, because you're okay. Now I don't know if it's quite obvious, but one of the other ones is more obvious, which we have more of. This one's pretty close to the same. So, how many pounds of each kind does the mixture contain? So, we're going to mix some hazelnuts and some cashews. The mixture is going to be 15 pounds total, and then it costs $5.79 per pound. Some of the kids did not realize that. They're like, 15 pounds costs $5.79. That's $5.79 per pound.
Yeah, we're smart.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are way smart. All right, let's do this. Everybody jot down X and Y over on the side. These problems make more sense when you define your variables well. Okay? Somebody take a guess as far as what does X stand for? Take a risk here. What do you think? We'll be smart. Briggs?
Hazelnuts?
What about them?
Cost per pound?
No, we know the cost. Good question.
The amount.
The amount. Or the amount's in what form?
Pounds.
Pounds. So I'm going to go pounds of HN, hazelnuts. So X stands for the number of pounds of hazelnuts we're going to put in our mixture. Natalie, clearly Y would be? Exactly. Pounds of cash. Not money, but cashews. Okay? So we're going to mix X pounds of hazelnuts with Y pounds of cashews into a big tub. What's the first equation? Read the second sentence. You can write the first, the easy equation. Go ahead, Cuban.
X plus Y equals 15.
We want 15 pounds. So the first equation is just going to be X plus Y is 15. The pounds of hazelnuts plus cashews, we want 15, so it's got to equal 15. The second equation is hard. Okay? The left side of the equation is easy to write. Everybody in here can write the left. It's the right side. I don't think you guys know how to write the right side yet, but you're gonna get it. Okay? Cuban, what's the left side?
4.98x.
Wait. Let me explain what that is. Hold on. You're right. Guys, that's the total cost of the hazelnuts that we put into our mixture. For example, if our mixture only has 1 pound of hazelnuts, it's only going to cost $4.98 for that.
Is it going to be like divided?
If it's 2 pounds of hazelnuts, it's going to be whatever 2 times $4.98 is. Okay? So, keep going. You're doing great, Cuban.
Is it
Plus?
plus 5 or 650y?
Right. Let me explain what that is. Plus 650y. That's the cost, the total cost of all the cashews you put into your mixture.
equals
But I know.
579 divided by 15.
Oh, dude, you're all over it, but you're not quite right, but you're close.
Because it's like per pound, so there's
So,
like.
so what do you think goes on the right side? It's not. He said 579 divided.
Minus 50.
Oh, definitely not.
No,
Oh, I know what it
15
is.
pounds over.
Wait, don't use your calculator, Henry. Just tell me what you're
15
gonna do.
divided by
5.79 times 15.
579 times 15.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to write this down, or like Henry was going to do,
Oh, yeah.
he just grabbed his calculator and started typing it in. But you have to multiply the total pounds by how much those pounds cost each. Okay.
86.85.
So multiply. Okay. And what number was that, Alex?
86.85.
Somebody verify that?
Yep.
Okay, so 4.98. If you want, you can clear your decimals now. I wouldn't, because we got our calculators. You're just making yourselves bigger numbers. Okay, so let's talk about the second equation, because this is what's new. There's the cost of all the hazelnuts. There's the cost of all the cashews. There's the cost of our 15-pound mixture. Our 15 pounds at $5.79 are going to cost a total of $86.85. So there's the equation. Now, what are we going to multiply? What are we going to multiply the top equation by?
Negative 4.98.
Yeah, let's just multiply by negative 4.98 and throw it underneath the other equation. A lot of that you can do in your head. Equals, somebody type in negative 498 times 15.
74.
70, negative 7470. Okay? You add your two equations together, our x's get eliminated. We have 1.52y equals 12.15. Divide both sides by 1.52.
Oh.
Now, you're going to find these problems because of the decimal numbers and the rounding. You're going to get something really close to. What's your calculator say?
7.993421052.
So guess how many pounds of cashews, Nico, we had? 8. Y equals. So as long as it's real close, guys, like 7.99, it's going to be 8.
That's it?
Yeah. So we got 8 pounds of cashews. Then hazelnuts, we know it's x plus 8 equals 15. What do you guys add to 8 to make 15? 7.
And what was something else really hard?
Okay. 8 pounds of cashews. Maybe label those. And 7 pounds of hazelnuts. You have 15 pounds of nuts, and I guarantee you the cost of them would be $5.79 a pound. We're mixing things together to make this happen. New concept. Multiply your junk on the right side. Okay? You have to do that. All right. Let's talk about water and alcohol solution problems. So that's deal with chemistry and science. Guys, in science, do you guys ever mix? Do you guys ever mix things together?
Yeah.
Like, do you guys deal with like alcohol in there? With what?
Burner has alcohol.
Oh, that's what. Like, what kind of alcohol is burns?
burner.
It's like ethanol alcohol.
It's in the type you get
Okay.
at
It's like rubbing.
I think it is a rubbing alcohol. All right. So a chemist has 2 alcohol and water solutions: a 20% alcohol solution and a 50% alcohol solution. So, well, guys, what are those big glass things called in science?
Beaker.
Beakers. Then I have 2 beakers up here. In years past, I went and got beakers from Miss Corlett, and so kids could visually see it, but I don't have any today. I'm sorry. So pretend I have 2 of those big glass beakers right here. One of them has 20% alcohol, and then the rest of it, 80% would be like water, but it's mixed up real good. The other one has 50% alcohol, 50% water. It's mixed up real good. So I'm gonna take these beakers and I'm gonna mix them together so that I have 12 liters. That's 45% alcohol. Okay. Notice the 45% is in between the 50 and the 20. Without much work, since 45 is, am I going to have more 50% or am I going to have more 20%?
50%.
Why?
Because 45 is close to 50.
Yeah, guys, sometimes you can make good decisions. We're going to have a lot more of the 50% alcohol solution because our final mixture has to be 45%, so I need more of the 50% compared to the 20%. All right, let's define it. How many liters of each solution should we mix? What are X and Y?
50% solutions X.
What about it?
Amount of 50%.
Let's do the 20% first, just because it's listed first. Okay? How about liters of 20% solution? And again, you probably won't write all that out into your homework, but this first example, let's be real clear what it is. Y is going to be,
Liters of 50% solution.
yeah, how many liters of the 50% solution we're going to add to this? Okay? When we mix them together, we want 12 liters. What's the first equation?
X plus Y equals 12.
X plus Y equals 12. We're going to mix some of the 20% plus some of the 50%, and it's got to be 12 liters when we're done.
Wait, is 20% 0.2?
Change them into decimals. Or in other periods, if you just leave them as numbers, it works a lot easier. So maybe if you just go 20x instead of 0.2x. I'm going to do it as the decimals though. 0.2x plus 0.5y, okay, 20% times the number of liters of that we use, and then what are we going to put on the right side? Nico?
0.45 times 12.
Yeah, 0.45 times 12. Since we're using decimals, we're going to 0.45 times 12. Nico, what is that number? Do you know? Should be a little bit under 6.
5.4.
Thank you. 5.4, 0.2x plus 0.5y. Let's multiply that first equation by. What do you want to multiply the first equation by?
Negative
Negative 2.
negative 1.
I don't think negative 1 would help.
Well, then it would make it negative 0.2.
Yeah, I cleared.
But don't you have to multiply by negative 0.2 then?
I cleared my decimals first to make it way easier.
Oh, so you went 2x plus 5y equals 54?
Yep.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm going to use the decimals. That's why I did it. You should get the same answer, Cubon. Negative 0.2x minus 0.2y equals, yikes, what's 0.2 times 12?
Why is it 0.2?
Isn't 2.4? Right? Negative 2.4? Okay, that's negative 0.2 times the 12. All right, our x's eliminate when we add our equations together. We get 0.3y equals 3. You probably have 3y equals 30.
Yep.
Nice. And what is
10.
10? Y equals 10 liters of the 50% stuff. What would you add to 10, guys, to make 12? 2 liters of the 20% solution. Make sure you label your answers, please. Notice what we said right at the beginning. We need a heck of a lot more of the 50% solution because it's so close to, the final mixture is so close to 50%, 45%. So those are mixture problems. Okay? All right, let's try one with money involved. Kids always like money. Okay? What does it mean to invest money? What do you think, Al?
Put it in something to get more out of it.
To get more money, right? What's that more money called?
Profit.
Not profit, that's when you sell something. When you put money in the bank,
Revenue.
no, good guess, you're all over it. Those are words that mean that. How about
Interest.
interest? You get interest. When you put money in a bank, you get interest. Or if you borrow money from the bank, like to get your first car, okay, or to buy a house, what do you have to pay? You have to pay interest. Here we're talking about getting interest. All right? Now, so, because we're investing money, so we're getting interest. And guys, jot this real quick review. Interest equals the principal times the rate times the time.
I equals PRT.
Right, remember we said last year, I think we said interest equals PERT.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Now, here's the deal. All these problems deal with annual interest. What does annual mean out there in the real world?
Like,
How often?
how often?
Yearly.
But how often is annual?
Yearly.
How long?
Yearly.
Yearly, exactly. So the time is going to be 1 because it's going to be annual. It's going to happen once per year. The rate, okay, is going to be your in a decimal. How much the rate that you get on your investment, and then the P is how much you invest. Okay, that's gonna actually be our variable, and then I stands for our. Here's the interest. Okay, which we know in this problem, believe it or not. All right, so let's say you have 12 G's. You guys would all love to have 12 G's. You have 12 G's. You invest $12,000, part in one account and the rest in another account. So you're going to take $12,000, put part of it over here, part of it in this account. Okay? The total interest from the two bank accounts is $812.50. That's key. One account earns 7.5% annual interest, and the other earns 5%. How much did you invest in each account? And right away, there's always one smart kid that raises their hand. They're like, why do you put any at 5%? Why don't you invest it all at 7.5%? It's a higher rate. Well, because we have to make two variables, that's why we do it. It makes a nice problem. So let's do X and Y. What does X stand for? What are the two variables in this problem?
Counts.
Cubine?
Is it the two variables annual interest?
No.
Well, I think doesn't X equal the 7.5 annual interest?
Something with it, more specifically. Everything.
Or
The money you make off? The money you make off?
We know what we don't. We know the total we make on it. What do we not know though? And it's here's what we don't know, guys.
Oh, how much is it in each account?
Right. X is going to stand for the amount invested at 7.5%. I just did that one first because it's listed first. Okay. X is because here's what it says. You got 12 G's. You're going to split it up, but you don't know how you split it up. So let's define those as our variables. Then what's Y stand for, guys?
Not invested 5%.
Yeah. Y is going to be the amount invested at 5%. Okay, who can write the easy equation? Read the problem. What's the easy equation? There's always one that's kind of simple. Melissa, you got the easy equation?
X plus Y equals 812.
No, good guess though. Good guess. The hard equation deals with the 812 because that's the interest. Henry, what's the easy equation?
X plus Y equals 12,000.
Yeah, you invested $12,000. Part of it here, part of it there, and that equals $12,000. Okay? Now, here's the tough stuff to think about. How much interest did you earn on your 7.5% investment? What do you think, Briggs?
7.5x.
Can we use the decimal form of it?
0.75?
Well, how do you take 7.5% and make it a decimal? And don't say it already is a decimal. You gotta move it twice.
0.07.
Right. So, guys, 0.075x. That, look at this. Here's the amount of money, here's the amount of interest that you made on your 7.5% investment. Because you invested X amount of dollars.
Do you have to use the decimal form?
No, if you want to use 7.5, you can. Just make, oh, here you have to. What you're going to have to do, Alex, is you're going to have to change that and move the decimal twice to the right. So this one you should use your decimal equivalent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So you're going to have to use 81,250. But I'm going to use 80. I'm going to do it the. All right. Plus, how much interest did you get from your 5% investment? How much interest did you get from your 5% investment? Natalie, what do you think? Say it loud and proud. Times? Yeah, 0.05y. Very good. There's the interest you got from your 5% investment. The decimal equivalent of the percentage times how much you invested. You okay?
Yeah.
Need to go to the nurse or anything?
No.
Okay, good. That will equal your total interest, which we know. So what number does all that equal?
8, 12, 15.
Yeah, 812.50. Definitely need a calculator in this problem.
Why is it just 0.75?
Great question.
0.5.
You have to. Here's the deal. You know the side. You don't have to write this down, guys. Just watch. 10%. Let's say you earn 10. It's an easy number. You earn 10%. You earn 10% times. Just make it an easy, like $150. What's 10% of 150? Really? You don't know the 10% rule?
15.
15. What'd you multiply together?
10% times.
Oh, did your calculator do percentages? Okay. If you didn't move the decimal, Nico, and didn't have a percentage button in your calculator, what is 10 times 150? A lot, right?
Yeah.
You have to make this a percent. You have to make it a decimal. And that gives you the 15.
Okay.
So, you have to take all your percentages and make them decimals. 7.5% equals what is a decimal? And there's always one kid that says, it already is a decimal. Move it twice to the left.
0.75.
Yeah, 0.075. So you have to take your percentages and make them decimals. That's why I said your rate needs to be in a decimal form. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you use just the percentage without making a decimal, you get huge numbers because you've used a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's multiply this top one by negative 0.05. Right?
Oh, I did 0.075.
Do it that way. Do it your way. It should work. Negative 0.05x minus 0.05y equals 12,000. I think it's 600. Okay, times 0.05.
Wait, that's 9.
Oh no,
Oh, no,
we
yeah.
did.
Is that right? So 0.025x equals, I can do this in my head, 212.50. Divide by 0.025. Guys, practice typing that in.
8,900.
You typed it in wrong. Type it in again, Al, on your calculator.
Y first. I got 3,100.
Yeah, I did 5 first.
Oh.
Oh, wait,
3,500?
8,500.
100.
Oh, you get it wrong.
I got 8,000. 8,500.
Yeah, 8,500 is the right answer. It's your work.
I got 3,500.
Is this? You're,
Wait, how was it
you
212?
don't show enough work. I can't tell where you're messed
I was
up.
on my calculator.
Well, we just don't have enough work shown there, Al. Please show more work.
Oh,
All right.
that's
You should get
How was it 212?
$8,500. What would you add to 8,500 to make 12,000?
3,500.
Right. Y equals $3,500. Throw a money sign on there, guys, and label them. Basically, you invested $3,500 at 5%, and $8,500 at 7.5%. Again, smart kid always says, "Why don't you invest it all at 7.5%? You'll make a lot more money." Well, then we wouldn't have a two-variable problem if we didn't. So, all right, we're gonna save the last problem, guys, till tomorrow.